beautiful people. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today is a ridiculously exciting video, but if you are new here, hello, welcome. I'm Lucy Stephenson, but you can call me Luce because we're all friends here. If you are new, please don't forget to hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel, and turn that notification bell on because I upload on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays, but there's a lot of bonus videos that go throughout the week as well, so make sure that you don't miss anything. I do also have a vlog channel that I've recently started called Life with Luce. I will leave a link down below. I'd love if you could go over there and subscribe as well. Today is a super exciting video because not only is it a collaboration with my beautiful people Patreons. If you don't know what that is, I have my own Patreon community. It's like an exclusive community. It starts as little as £1 a month. You can cancel it whenever you want, but it has an exclusive group chat, it has an exclusive Instagram with lives, we do exclusive giveaways, obviously collabs like this as well, and loads more. Like, I absolutely love my Patreons to pieces. Like, 2 people away from 50 now, which is crazy. But yeah, today not only is it a collab with my patrons, it's also a collab with my friends' patrons as well. So it's also a collab with Makeup with Alex Kate's patrons, it's also a collab with Lizzie's patrons, and it also is a collab with Bryony's patrons as well. So I will leave all of the other beautiful people and all of the other Patreon people down below, so you can go check out their Instagram or their YouTube, wherever it is that they've done this kind of video or this kind of picture of their makeup look. But today we're going to be doing a full makeup look using makeup that I completely forgot about. So I have this bad boy, and I also have a full tub of goodies. So let's just get straight into it because it's going to be a long one. So let's start with primer. I'll zoom you in first actually. So for the primer that I completely forgot about, this is the YSL Touche Éclat Blur Primer. She is pricey AF. I bought this all the way back when I used to work in House of Fraser and I worked on the benefit counter, and as you can see, I have used quite a bit of it up, considering this used to be an exclusive night out special occasion primer only, and it's kind of got like a silicone feel to it, and it also has like gold kind of glitter in it as well. So I'm just going to apply that all over the skin. The only kind of eye base that I have that I forgot about is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. The reason I forget about this is because it just isn't as intense and as thick as my P. Louise one, and I just love that one so much more. So I'm going to pat this out with a Peaches and Cream PC29 brush. This is actually a lot lighter than my P. Louise base, but I'm just going to tap that all over the eye. So the eyeshadow palette that I completely forgot about is the Be Perfect Original Carnival palette. So this is what she looks like. Since then I've bought the Tahiti one, and she's actually due to bring out a 4th one, which you know for a fact I'll be buying. But I was thinking about going for a nice pink eye look today. So I'm just going to pat that back in. Look how creasy my eyeballs get straight away. And I'm just going to do one eye at a time to begin with. I'm just going to be using a little Ted Baker brush. This one's stained, but it is actually clean. And we're going to go in with the shade Wifey, which is this pink here. And I'm going to put Wifey, oh my god, look at that pigmentation. I'm going to put Wifey right into the crease, and I'm going to try and do it a little bit different this time and have my eye open, so I know exactly where I'm going to do my cut crease. It's just me testing a new technique because you all know I get an absolute sweat on doing cut creases, and that's what I want to do today. Okay, we're attempting a rounded eye today. This one's going to be bodged, but we live and we learn. We're learning together. That's the best part about this YouTube channel. We're learning together. So I'm going to blend out that shade Wifey with the shade Funky, and I'm going to use a Kit Stars S30 small tapered blender brush. Again, it is clean, it's just stained a little bit green. So going in with this colour here, which is the shade Funky, and I'm just going to use that to blend these edges out. And I'm going to try my best to keep this nice and tight and try and do a rounded eye because I normally fail at these. Not gonna lie, quite impressed with myself so far. And then I'm going to go back in with that original brush. Oh, just mute my laptop. I'm going to go back in with that original brush in the shade Wifey and just intensify that pink again. So now that that is blended to how I want it, I'm going to go off camera, cut the crease, and then we'll come back and we'll put our lid shade on, and we're going to be using a pigment because I always forget about my pigments. So I'll be back with you in a momento after I've had a breakdown doing a cut crease. So now I can finally breathe after the cut creases. I have actually used the ABH eye primer to do it. Don't know how I feel about it. Not as thick as the P. Louise blank canvas that I normally use, so if you don't really like that because of how thick it is, or you have quite wrinkly eyeballs, maybe this might be a better alternative. But obviously, as you can still see, it does stick in your little lines and stuff, which is normal as well. So I'm going to be taking a little packing brush from Morphe, and we're going to go in with the shade Pink Me in the palette, which is this one here. It looks like it's white, but it does have this kind of like, you can see like a pinky purple kind of reflex to it. Look how nice that is. So I'm going to pop this all over the lid. I hope it's going to go on okay with this underneath it. I'm going to try using my finger for this shade instead. Oh, it's not really doing much, is it? Another thing that I completely forget about all the time is my Too Faced glitter glue. I used to use this so much back in the day, but I'm actually going to use this as a little bit of a base for my pigment that I'm going to be using. So let's just do one eye at a time. And for the pigment, we're going to be going in with my Peaches and Cream pigment in the shade Pixie. I don't know if I've ever actually used this, to be honest with you, and I always forget about my pigments all the time. Whenever I'm doing an eye look, it doesn't even come into my head to use a pigment. So I thought this is literally the perfect time for it. So I'm just going to use the same kind of packing brush that we had for that other lid shade. And I'm just going, oh my god, look at that. Just going to tap this all over. This again is a white pigment, like it looks white, but it has a purple reflex to it, which is beautiful. But I'm going to pack this all over the lid, and then I'll do the other eye and I'll be back in a second. Wow, I need to use these pigments more often, honestly. They're absolutely beautiful. And then going back in with that Tebik brush that we used with the shade Wifey, I'm just going to use this to kind of blend this outer corner into the pigment, just to kind of merge the two together a little bit better. So for the under eyes, I'm literally just going to be using the same brushes and the same two pink colours just to kind of tie it all together. I've been loving putting shadow on my under eyes with nothing there, like no concealer or anything, and I find that because this kind of covers up my under eye, I don't have to take my concealer as high, so I don't get as many kind of lines. My concealer doesn't sink into my lines as much as well. So I'm just using whatever is kind of left on the brush just to kind of bring it all round nicely together. And then taking the little brush that we used for the shade Funky and just taking a little bit more of that and just using this lightly to blend out that wifey shade. So that is the eyeshadow done for now. We'll come back to the eyes later. Let's put some foundation on. This is an absolute throwback. This is the MAC Studio Sculpt foundation. It probably isn't even meant to be used on the face because I've had this for so many years, but this used to be my go-to foundation for a night out. Like, this was my ride or die. Now it's the MAC Studio Fix foundation. Absolutely love it. This is a lot more thick than the other one, and I feel like this one doesn't set down as well as the Studio Fix. I think it's because it's more dewy, a bit more dewy, whereas Studio Fix is a bit more like a semi-matte. But let's put this on my face. This is going to be too dark for me as well because this is shade NC25, because obviously this is a shade that back in the day I would have worn for a night out. So let's put some on the back of my hand and I can show you, one, how much darker it is, but also how thick it is as well. It's like as if it's like a moussey liquid texture. So the smell just brings me right back This is a very sticky foundation. If you hate the feel of that, you will not like this. I don't know why I loved it so much. I think it was because it was just so full coverage and it did last quite well for a night out, to be fair. So I'm going to try this much so far, and I'm going to be using my Peaches and Cream PC08 brush. The smell makes me feel like I'm getting ready for a night out in uni times. Like, it is such a throwback. You know what? This actually looks beautiful. It looks really, really nice. The only thing about this foundation is it is really sticky, so you have to set it down all over with powder. So if you can't hack having a full face of powder on top of your foundation, you won't like this at all, because it just feels sticky without kind of putting something on top of it. So the powder that I'm going to be using is one I always forget that I have. This is the I Heart Revolution Coconut Scented Baking Powder. I bought this because my Fleming absolutely raved about it, and her makeup is unbelievable. She's just unreal anyway, but her makeup's unbelievable. So I was like, well, I gotta get it. If Emma likes it, I gotta get it. And I just forget that I have it. I forget all the time. Actually, before I put that powder on, I'm going to put my concealer on, set underneath my eyes, and then set the rest of my face. So I'm going to go in with this. This is the Huda Beauty, the Overachiever Concealer. I forgot I bought this. Like, this one's in the shade Marshmallow, and I got this off one of Alex's Patreons, or was it off one of mine? I think it might have been off a combination of the two. I'm sure it was somebody who was in mine on Alex's Patreon. But anyways, I can't remember who I bought it off because I forgot I had it. Never mind who I bought it off. So let's try, oh, it's really cool. Let's try some of this. And I'm only going to put a little bit on because obviously we have covered up some of the under eye with eyeshadow anyway. But I want to put this on before I set the rest of my face. And I'm just going to be using a sponge. This is one from the Roxy and Revolution collection, I believe. I might be lying. I think it might be from that one. And we're just going to blend. Wow, that has got some coverage in it. Just going to blend this in. Mainly focusing it kind of in this inner part where we haven't got any eyeshadow. And then just kind of gently tapping backwards. Oh my god, that concealer is beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay, that has shocked me. Like, really shocked me. I'm going to use a Kit Stars Shape and Veil brush. I'm going to use that coconut setting powder to set that in place straight away. This has got quite a brightening effect to it as well, because it is like a white powder. That combination. Wow. Oh my god. Okay. I'm shocked by this. Like, absolutely shocked by it. Let's put a little bit more on. Oh, I can smell the coconut now. Amazed by that. And then I'm going to be taking a huge spectrum brush with the coconut powder. I'm going to tap quite a lot of it off because I don't want it to be brightening all over my face. I'm just going to distribute it and then, oh, it smells unreal. Blend it all over the skin. Not going to lie, really, really impressed with that powder and really impressed with that concealer as well. So moving on to bronzer, the one I used to love and probably the first like high-end bronzer I ever fell in love with is this one from Guerlain. I used to work for them back in the day, like only for a short period of time, like a couple of months whilst I was like in between jobs. So this is the Terracotta Joli tint. This is the Natural Healthy Glow Powder Duo. This one's in Natural Brunettes. The reason I don't reach for this much anymore is because it doesn't compare at all to my MAC one. Like, not even in the slightest. Like, doesn't even touch the sides. My MAC one is just so much better than this. In the minimised skin finish, in dark tan, you just can't beat it. By the way, my skin looks baby soft. Like, actually baby soft. So I'm just going to put this on my cheeks. Look, I feel like you just don't get, I feel like I'd need a lot darker of a bronzer now compared to what I used to use. And I feel like I used to use quite a dark one before. So I don't know whether I've just got, I don't know, a bit more tanned over time, or whether I've just got a bit more daring with my bronzer and know that I can go a lot darker than what I used to. And then, of course, double chin and all that. Jawbone, you know. I do feel like that bronzer does give quite a nice, healthy glow to the skin. It is really, really nice. But I feel like you have to just build up a lot more than my MAC one. And I'm lazy. So I prefer it just quick and easy. For blusher, we're throwing it back to another MAC product. I used to absolutely love this back in the day. This is the MAC Joli Mix Sheer Tone Shimmer Blush, and I just forget about it all the time. It doesn't even come into my mind for me to try this. So using a Spectrum 805 brush, it's going to take a little bit, because if I remember rightly, she was quite pigmented, and I'm just going to apply this right on the top of my cheeks as well. This should go beautifully with this eye look as well. And this is a Sheer Tone Shimmer Blush. It has got a little bit of shim in it. For highlighters, we have two that I always just forget that I have, and these again are like holy grail ones I used to love back in the day. So we have the Mary Luminizer by The Balm, which everyone used to rave about, and also the Gilded Honey by Laura Geller. I feel like I reach for this more than I ever do this one. I never ever reach for this one. I always forget about it. So we'll go for the Mary Luminizer. As you can see, she was loved back in the day, but she just gets forgotten about now. And let's apply this right on the top of my cheeks. I feel like as well I don't reach for her as much because she just isn't as intense as my recent ones that I like my Doll Beauty. Moving randomly onto brows next. One of the things that I always forget about now, because I never really fill my brows in, is like brow pomade. So I'm going to brush my brows. Ignore how messy they are. We're currently growing them out ready for my brow appointment next week. So please just bear with that. But this used to be, well, pomades in general used to be something that I used to absolutely love, but I always forget about the Benefit one. It wasn't really one that when I used to use pomades, that I would reach for. This one's in the shade 4. I'm not too sure what the colour's going to be like on me, to be fair, but let's give it a try. It's been so long since I've used a pomade. I'm a little bit scared, not going to lie. So that's one brow with a pomade and one brow without. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm going to be using this as well. This is the Benefit Ready Set Brow. Again, I always forget about this because when I do my brows, I use a coloured brow gel, so I always forget about obviously like clear ones. But obviously with me using a brow pomade, I don't know how I feel about this at all. Let's go through with a clear gel to set her in place. It was embarrassing when I was like picking my stuff out for this video, is the fact that I had so many eyeshadow palettes to choose from ones that I've just completely forgot about. That was bad. So I'm going to finish off my other brow and I'll see you in a momento. So for lashes that I always forget about, we have the Shine-X-O lashes. These ones are in the style The Rebel, and I've wore these once, I think, and I just completely forgot that they were in my lash collection, like completely. So that's what we're going to put on today. And for the mascara that I always forget about, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes. I think I forget it because it's small. It kind of falls behind my other mascaras. It's not really one that particularly wows me all that much, which is another reason why I think I forget about it too. So I'm going to pop some of the mascara on and then put the lashes on, and we'll come back and we'll finish off with the lips. So lashes on, I remember why I don't really use these and why I only use them the ones. They are, like, the band's quite thick, so it's quite hard to get on. And then I feel like it just kind of sticks up in the inner corner anyway, so that's why I don't reach for that often. For lips, last but certainly not least, we're going to be using the Stila Stay All Day liquid lipsticks. If you are like an OG like viewer of my channel, and I mean like many years ago, you'll know I used to absolutely love these, and I used to collect them and I used to just be obsessed with them. They used to be like my go-to for nights out, like just love them to pieces. Whereas now I'm more of like a lip liner, lipstick and like a lip gloss kind of gal, or even if I wear like a liquid lipstick, I always put a gloss on the top, which I think I might end up doing today. I'm not too sure yet, but the one that we're going to go for is the shade Fire, I don't know, F-I-O-R-E. I don't know. And back in the day, Lucy never used to use lip liners, so there's not really a lip liner that I forgot about all that much, to be honest with you, and not one that would match this anyway. So this is what the lipstick looks like, but I am going to top it off with a gloss because there is a gloss that I forget about all the time, and again, it's another Guerlain product. This one is in the shade 465. It says Gloss d'Enfer, but this is going to go so well with this liquid lipstick, and I just love glossy lips. And this is how it looks with the gloss on top. Absolutely obsessed. These eyelashes are driving me insane though, because they will not stick down at all. But I'm literally like, it's 6:10 I'm finishing filming this video. I have my tea ready to munch, so I'll be taking these lashes off very soon anyways. But I was going to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everybody and all the people that are involved with this video, especially with it being across all 4 of our Patreon groups, which is just absolutely lovely and nice that we can all kind of come together as one big community as well. If you are interested in joining my Patreon, I will leave it all linked down below and a video kind of explaining what it is and how it works and all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, I'll leave it all linked down below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who took part and everyone who's just in my Patreon group anyway. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow for a brand new video. I'm really hoping tomorrow's video is going to be me testing the Relove collection by Revolution. It just depends whether my postman brings it and what time he brings it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow anyway for a brand new video, regardless what it may be. Love you so much. Bye.